I think robot vacuums have a problem, and it's not because they're bad. Like, honestly, modern robot vacuums are already pretty good at scheduled cleaning. You set them to run every day, they pick up the dust, they mop the floor, and they save you time. But that's not actually the hardest part of keeping a house clean. The hardest part is this, the unexpected mess. The spilled coffee, the cereal that your kid launches across the floor, the ketchup accident that somehow ends up in 3 different directions, the pet accident, and other types of messes that regular robot vacuums tend to smear around instead of actually cleaning. That's what makes this device different. This is the xLean TR1, and instead of trying to be just another robot vacuum, it's trying to solve both problems, because this is actually 2 cleaning devices in one. It's a fully autonomous robot cleaner, but then in literally 1 second, it transforms into a handheld wet and dry vacuum for instant cleanup. So for example, if I'm editing a video and I spill my drink, I don't have to wait for a robot to clean the whole room. I just grab the handle, click it into the robot, and I'm good to go. So after using the TR1, I think that the dual form idea makes way more sense than I expected, especially because it also has some crazy AI features like a mode where it literally hunts for dirt. Let's test it out. So the basic idea behind the xLean TR1 is actually pretty simple. Most cleaning robots are designed for planned cleaning. You schedule them once a day or every few days, maybe when you're out of the house, and they maintain the floor over time. But real life doesn't actually work on a schedule. The biggest messes usually happen unexpectedly, and xLean basically built the TR1 around that exact problem. So in robot mode, it works like a premium autonomous floor cleaning robot. It maps your home, avoids obstacles, cleans automatically, docks itself, washes itself, dries itself, and handles routine maintenance cleaning. But then if something spills, you grab the handle, lock it into place, and then it instantly transforms into a handheld cleaner. Now, this is probably the first time that I used a robot cleaner where I didn't feel like I needed a second device nearby, because normally you end up needing a robot vacuum for maintenance cleaning plus a wet dry vacuum for actual messes. The TR1 simply combines both. Now, obviously the biggest development here is the transformation system. The robot docks into the OMNI station like a normal robot vacuum, but the handle section connects electronically and mechanically into the robot itself. So when you pull the handle out and attach it, you automatically convert the robot vacuum into a handheld cleaner. This also doesn't feel gimmicky, which is important because you do see some transformable products where it feels like they're trying too hard to justify existing. This actually solves a real problem, because if I spill ketchup on my tile floor, I'm not letting it soak in while I open an app, send a robot over, wait for it to navigate around the room, and then hope that it cleans it properly. I just want to clean it immediately. With the TR1, the transformation is fast enough that you don't really need a separate device. The handheld mode also has powered movement assistance with what xLean calls an omnidirectional direct drive motor, so it almost pulls itself across the floor, and even with one hand, it's super easy to go in any direction. All right, so now let's talk about smart features, starting with what xLean calls this dirt hunting mode. Now, the name might sound a little marketing heavy, but when you see it work, it's wild. So traditional robots follow a fixed path, and they cover the entire room whether it needs it or not. The TR1 does something fundamentally different. It actively scans the floor, locks onto areas that actually have dirt, then navigates directly to those spots. So it's not just detecting dirt when it's passing over it, it's actually changing the entire cleaning path. And to you, that means less wasted movement and higher efficiency. Now, once the TR1 finds a mess, that's where the real-time precision AI adaptive cleaning kicks in. And xLean says this is a separate layer of intelligence. The RGBD camera works together with xLean's self-developed green laser dirt sensor to detect the level of dirt on the floor surface in real time. If there's very little dirt, it cleans quickly. If there's a lot, it slows down and increases suction. It adjusts the water volume and roller behavior and deep cleans that specific spot. It's not wasting time on clean areas, and it's not under cleaning where it actually matters. So you're kind of getting the best of both worlds here. Dirt hunting mode is about finding the dirt and going straight to it. AI adaptive cleaning is about adjusting how the TR1 cleans once it gets there. xLean also says that the robot learns from your handheld cleaning sessions. It uses something they call reinforcement learning from human feedback to continuously learn and evolve during handheld use. So it's learning about your cleaning paths, the areas that you focus on, how you navigate around furniture, and then it takes all of that and brings it back to autonomous mode. The more you use the xLean TR1, the smarter and more efficient it becomes, which is much better than robots that just run preset programs. Now, if you're curious about navigation, let me get a little bit nerdy here. So the TR1 uses 360-degree LiDAR, which captures over 5,000 points per second. It adds that to an RGB-D camera with 44,640 3D sensing points, and then an autonomous driving grade AI chip. And typically you only see this kind of hardware in much more expensive products. So watching it move around, it seems to navigate super confidently. It recognizes furniture legs and other common household obstacles very well. The TR1 also did a good job when it came to edge cleaning. Because it has a square body and a precise path planning algorithm, it can clean as close as 10 millimeters from the baseboard. Now, obviously the TR1 is optimized for hard floors, but at the same time, you don't have to worry about your rugs. It automatically recognizes and avoids them, and you can easily set no-go zones in the app. All right, now let's make some messes over here because this thing is specifically designed for mixed wet and dry messes, which by the way is exactly where most robot vacuums struggle. So we tested cereal and milk, chips, coffee, sticky wet messes like grape jelly, heavy spills, and light debris. And honestly, the single pass performance here is kind of wild. The xLean TR1 is the best cleaning robot that we've tested in handling large spills, mixed wet-dry messes, and even stubborn stains in one pass. The dual motor direct suction drives 17,000 pascals of suction, and xLean combined that with two large 10.23-inch rollers spinning at 400 RPMs each and 32 nozzles that spray fresh water directly onto the rollers during operation. What's great about this design is that the front roller handles the primary scrubbing, and then the rear roller catches everything that the front missed and helps reduce water streaking. At the same time, something xLean calls vortex matrix separation works as a separate layer. It completely separates dirt and air to protect the motor, which again is the type of thing that you see in full-size wet-dry vacuums. Now, smearing is one of the biggest weaknesses of a lot of robot mops, but with the TR1, the rollers are constantly being rinsed with fresh water and then scraped while they're cleaning. So even with heavier spills, the floor actually looks properly cleaned afterwards. There's no smearing, no secondary contamination, and no second pass required. Next, let's talk about maintenance. And the OMNI station is doing a ton here. The station automatically separates solids and liquid waste. Solids go into the dry waste, liquids collect in the dirty water tank. It automatically washes the rollers with 167-degree water, which breaks down all the grime and eliminates bacteria. It then uses 149-degree dry air to dry the rollers and keep them fresh and mold-free. The whole self-cleaning cycle takes about 7 minutes. And the robot has a built-in dirt sensor which monitors the cleaning and extends the wash cycle until the rollers are completely clean, rather than stopping after a fixed amount of time. Now, if you want a deeper cleaning, there's also a full high temperature cycle that covers the base station, the dirty water tank, and the rollers all at once, and that takes about an hour. Now, if you want to streamline things even more, the OMNI station can connect directly to your home's water lines to automatically refill clean water and drain dirty water. This thing looks pretty cool too, and with the transparent dirty water tank, you can literally see how disgusting your floors were afterward, which is both satisfying and mildly terrifying. The station also has a bagless design, which saves you from constantly buying replacement bags. The xLean TR1 is one of the more interesting cleaning products that I've ever used. It's not because it has the highest suction number, and it's not because it has AI, and it's definitely not just because the idea of transforming is clever marketing. It's because it actually solves a real problem that robot vacuums still haven't fully solved: the gap between scheduled cleaning and instant spot cleaning. As soon as I heard about the concept, it made a lot of sense, and once I actually started using it, I realized how practical it is. Now, obviously, this is still an early product category, and some features are still evolving and improving, but I think this is one of the more innovative directions that I've seen in home cleaning robotics. The xLean TR1 is currently live on Kickstarter, and the campaign ends June 22nd. The super early bird price is $9.99 versus $16.99 MSRP, so that's $700 off. So if you want to check it out, I'll have links below. You know what I always say? Buy it nice or buy it twice. Good luck and see you soon.